Yes, people, welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. We're here live tonight. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and get involved in the comment section, whether that's live or on replay. Big up to each and every single one of you. We're here ready to talk about all things Aston Villa. Matty Cash. Wow. I've got a few things to say about Matty Cash tonight. He has criticised the fan base. Yep, that's right. I'm not even joking. Matty Cash has laid down some really weird comments, I think, especially with 3 games to go. And we're going to look into them. There's also what I'd call Premier League schedule corruption. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that the Premier League is still looking at possibly rearranging Aston Villa's fixture versus Tottenham because of Tottenham's Europa League final. I mean, come on. This is embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. Why is it one rule for one club and another rule for the other? Where was our help for PSG? Where was our help to help rearrange fixture congestions there? I'm absolutely sick of it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then finally, five times FA Youth Cup winners. Man City got played off the park at Villa Park. Some unbelievable goals as well. And Jamal Alaba scoring goals. And of course, that amazing goal by Connor as well. We're going to talk all things that. So big up to each and every single one of you. And then straight after this stream, guys, we are going to be doing the Crystal Palace Nottingham Forest watch along on Big Up. So if you want to come and chill out, if you want to watch a game of football, then of course, all eyes are on Crystal Palace tonight. Can you believe it? We're actually cheering on Crystal Palace tonight. I'm not arch nemesis, but yeah, we need Palace to do the Lord's work tonight. So let's see what happens. But who have we got in the house? Big up to Matty Mullins. Big up to Meats as well. Hope you're well. Big up my guy Meats. Big up Daniel Bate. Big up Captain. And big up Pete as well. And big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Listen. Let's get straight into it. Matty Cash's comments. I mean, I thought this was like clickbait. I actually had to look at it. I thought, is this clickbait from Matty Cash? Is this like not real? Has this been transcribed by someone else and it's just making Cash look like an idiot? No. These are real comments from Matty Cash. So we're gonna get into it. And yeah, look, he starts off by talking about the fan base. And again, I want to go into, he really focuses on the fan base. And look, this first quote here, which I'm going to put on the screen, as if we're cheering on Palace after Wembley. Exactly. We're going to have to. Look, I don't know if anyone else was cheering on Liverpool yesterday. I don't know if anyone else was cheering on Liverpool, but to see Chelsea beat Liverpool, absolute dagger in the heart. This UCL top 4 race now is absolutely throwing all sorts of curveballs, all sorts of tricks, all sorts of messing around. I don't like it. I personally do not like it. And now we're having to cheer on other teams. That's where our lives have become, cheering on other teams. We do our part, but it's not just down to us now, is it? So here we go. Matty Cash, no joke. Read this quote here. He said, "We smashed Newcastle, go and lose at Wembley, and in a tough game at Manchester City, and it's like everyone is on us a little bit. It is like, calm down. We're trying our best. We are trying to win." Let that sink in for a second, because I haven't clickbaited the thumbnail. And I want people to be aware that I genuinely try not to clickbait. I genuinely try not to lure people in. Matty Cash has genuinely, from these quotes, told the fans to calm down. And I'm thinking, hold on here, Matty. Hold on here a second. Let's just take some perspective into this. You said the following. We smashed Newcastle. Yeah, that was a brilliant result. We go and lose at Wembley. That game at Wembley probably meant more to fans than any of these players will ever understand. And in a tough game at Manchester City, and it's like everyone is on us a little bit. It is like, calm down. We are trying our best. We're trying to win. Now, listen. This is not primary school. This is not everyone gets a sticker for taking part. Do you know what I mean? You know when they go and do the races, it doesn't matter what position you finish, everyone's a winner. I hate the way, I'll be honest, I really dislike the way as a professional, that last line there. We are trying our best. We are trying our best. That's the minimum expectation, isn't it? It's the minimum expectation. Now, when he's telling fans to calm down, I think that's a little bit rude. I think that's a little bit rude, to be honest. I think the fact that fans have a right to voice their opinion. I think fans have a right to be frustrated of how, the Manchester City game collapsing in the last kick of the game there, the Wembley performance. And I think that what Peter said is really true. Did not try our best at Wembley. And no player can really come out to me and convince me they tried their best at Wembley, because I would say you're lying. It's the first one I said, you're lying, Matty Cash. You didn't try your best at Wembley. In fact, it was pathetic. It was a pathetic display from 1 to 11. And once again, we got schooled. I'm not just talking about 1 to 11. We're talking about you, Unai Emery, as well. So Matty Cash, do you know what? I think it's absolutely just thrown me a little bit, that quote tweet there, where he has said, and you can see it there, it is a like, calm down. Interesting. And I really want people's points and opinions on that one, where he has said we need to calm down. I think we have an absolute right to be up in furore. I think we have an absolute sort of, jurisdiction as fans to sort of criticise what we saw at Wembley. We're probably not in the, Premier League performances we're not having a go at that. But I think we're a little bit disappointed how we attacked PSG away. And I think we're a little bit disappointed in the sort of, Wembley performance. I want to know what you guys think as well. Big up to Kevin Newey. Howard Jones says he has a massive point. Interested. Who else is on Matty Cash's side then? I'm interested to know. Do you think Matty Cash has a point? I'm going to show you some more comments. Big up to Ilamati. It says, fair to be critical, not toxic. But honestly, that Wembley performance foreshadowed 0-5. Exactly. And I think that's the one where the biggest noise from the fan base for me came after that semi-final. The biggest sound, the biggest noise from the Villa fan base was after that semi-final. Not the Premier League performances, but that semi-final. Not even the Champions League. So there you go. Meat said I'm back in the cash out camp. Agree. Matthew Miller said, disappointing Cash in comments. Sorry, but that Wembley performance was simply unacceptable to us Villa fans. You cannot tell me that he was trying our best. Exactly. So that's why I didn't like that sort of comment on the end saying, we're trying our best. Big up to Harry Wildman as well. Yeah, exactly that, VJ, as well. If he's playing out his skin, you might listen a bit more. Players have a right to voice their opinion too. Got to take it and give it. They do. So, listen, fair point, okay, that players have a right to voice their opinion. But as VJ is sort of alluring to is, please, please, please make sure your performance on the pitch backs it up then. Don't come giving me mouth almighty. Don't come giving me chat if you don't back it up on the pitch. So if maybe a Yuri Tillemans figure or a Morgan Rogers figure came out and said that, I'm half listening. If that came from Watkins, how would we all feel? Do you know what I mean? Fred sucks at Minecraft. Fred sucks at Minecraft said we had no passion against Palace at Wembley. Palace deserved to go to the final. I suck at Minecraft as well, but I love the Minecraft movie. Michelle said, I wasn't even upset with the players at Wembley. I was more upset that a number of players had played, so I was more upset with Emery. Yeah, I get that. And that's a fair point. As I said, it's 1 to 11 plus Unai Emery. Right, next Matty Cash comment then. So I thought, oh, God, what else is he going to say? Because this is a bit like, okay. Then excuses come in. Now, this is the culture I really thought Villa were avoiding under Unai Emery, which was excuses. Have a look at this one, chat. Matty Cash losing to Crystal Palace in the FA Cup semi-final. It was a setback, but the occasion, you're playing at Wembley and a few boys who are playing there for the first time. There are loads of factors included. Damn. Do you know what Matty Cash is just telling me? If that's how we felt for playing at Wembley for a semi-final, imagine how that squad felt playing at the actual final. So now I'm going back to a bigger circle of life of here. Are Aston Villa ready to win silverware? And we've got players like Matty Cash saying that. Where is this winning mentality? Where is this elite mindset? Where is this play with no fear? And again, I'm not stretching here. I'm absolutely reading the comments and interpreting it as a fan. It was a setback, but the occasion, you're playing at Wembley. Put an asterisk there, at a semi-final, by the way, not a final. And a few boys who are playing there for the first time. There are loads of factors included. Excuses. Now, I really hope this isn't driven by Unai Emery. I hope this is Matty Cash's comments by himself. I really hope this is Matty Cash sat there by himself saying this, and this isn't driven by the gaffer. Because if I'm hearing that, some of you are playing at Wembley for the first time, these sort of performances can happen. It's a semi-final. This is new for a lot of you. Don't worry. What? What are we doing here then? Why are we trying to play? Why are we in cup competitions if we're scared of that? And again, I don't want to sound reactive. I don't want to sound like I'm blowing this up, but these Matty Cash comments have come for me at a really poor time. 3 games to go, where every game matters. We've got to play Bournemouth away next, and we know that is a horrible, horrible place to go. And we've got Matty Cash out here saying, fans need to calm down. We're not quite at the semi-final level. Those sort of comments there, I'm not having. I'm not having. So there we go. By the way, I've just put the members link in if you want to become a member of the channel as well. Just pin the comment just here. Join the members clan for 99p. Good to see so many members as well. I forgot to say that earlier. But right, let's have a look at some of what you were saying about Cash. I got more Cash comments as well. Shows Cash lack of winning mentality. You wouldn't hear a Prime City United or Madrid team saying things like that. Exactly that. And I don't want to hear loser level mentality from Matty Cash. Cash is not elite at all. He's all smiles and happy. It's all going right. But when you get it wrong, how dare the fans have a say? Shut up, Cash, says Zulazan. I don't mind losing to Palace in the semi-final. They're a bloody good team. However, I do mind losing in a way where you might as well not have bothered going. We got absolutely slapped. Spot on. Cash is a bit like that. When you look back at Cash's time, when things are going well at Villa, Cash seems to get all aboard. And, he's even a bit like, as a fans, we sort of go, do you know what? Matty Cash has improved. Matty Cash is actually, good. When things are going well. When things are going bad, actually, Cash is always at the centre of that debate. Is Cash good enough? And then you see him come out and make these opinions. Now, I'm not saying things are bad at Villa because we're still in that race for top 5. We're still, hunting for that. But as everyone in the comments and I keep alluding to, the Crystal Palace result and performance was the thing that damned us. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Bonga Bonga says, we have the best squads. Absolutely. Driving a GTA truck. I'm glad you're not in the world. Big up to my man Meeks. He finally got his Easter gift as well. So big up to Meeks. Got his Easter chocolates from the members giveaway. So big up to him. But yeah, Matthew Mullins is exactly right on Matty Cash there. Well, this is what Howard says. To be fair, and I mean this with big respect, if you're getting offended by his comment, then you are the fans he's talking to. From what I've seen in the comment section, I can see his point. Look, I'm not offended by it, but I think it's important to call this out. I think it's important to sort of question the mentality of Aston Villa players. And do you know what, Howard? Look, I appreciate your comment. But what I am seeing quite clearly, Howard, is a Villa team not ready to win silverware. If that is the mentality of the players. Guys, 1 second. I just need to sort of dog out one. I'm so sorry. Dog was absolutely going nuts there. All sorted. But yeah, look, gotta call this out for me. I think it's not being about offended. It's a loser's mentality that stinks. And I don't want to hear excuses. I'd rather Cash come out and go, do you know what? We're crap. We didn't show up at Wembley. However, fans, this is what I would rather Cash come out and do. Listen, we got it terribly wrong at Wembley. We weren't good enough. We didn't step up. The performance wasn't good enough. Yeah, it might have been some of the young lads' first time or some of the foreign players' first time at Wembley, but that's not good enough. We're professionals. We've played all over Europe the last couple of seasons. That should have been an easy feat. But hey, Villa fans, remember where we are. We are in the Premier League top 5 race still. We're still competing. We've still got an incredible record at Villa Park. So, yes, I'm sorry that we didn't do the job in the FA Cup. But do you know what? Premier League-wise, we're going to give it everything. Instead of getting calmed down a bit, we're actually doing really well for the last 3 seasons. That's what I'm hearing from Matty Cash. We've actually done quite well. So you lot need to shut up a little bit as fans. Yeah, we ballsed up in the FA Cup, but we're not going to take responsibility. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather that. I'd rather that first vibe from Cash. So there we go. By the way, big up. There's some new names in here that I've never seen before, so welcome in. And great to see in here. Prince says that Matty Cash is one of the most average Premier League right back in history I've ever seen. It's true. It's true. It is actually true. Anthea says under 18s playing extremely well. Good match. Very proud of our young lines. We're going to touch on that 100%. And Bongo Bongo says we have the best squad in years, but we lack leaders. Yeah, that's true about leaders, especially if McGinn goes off and there's no Tyrone on the pitch. Pete says it's a loser's mentality. And I wonder if more players are going to say the same as Cash. It'd be interesting. I think Cash sounds like Gerrard does as a manager. It's true. But yeah, I agree. Look, one last Cashy comment then, and it sort of comes to my next point of where I was going with Cash, is he says this. Look, again, I want to know your genuine thoughts on this. Everyone is in it together. The fans are in it, the manager's fantastic and demanding, and the players. We are doing our best. Sometimes you're going to have tough times, and we need them to be the extra man. So a little bit of a rallying cry, and look, we need the supporters. We need to get over the line. But he's also saying, in a way, I see this as Cash going, but you're not allowed to have a go at us. I'd rather you back us, but don't have a go at us. Basically, Cash is saying he doesn't want to hear criticism. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. You're not allowed to criticise us, but stay behind us. But, as John has said, he's a nice guy, though. Stopped to sign shirts, etc. a few Thursdays ago. I've got no doubt about it. You know, I got no doubt about Matty Cash's sort of, enjoyment of being a Premier League right back, because as some people may allude to, Cash is very replaceable. Cash is very replaceable. So he should embrace his time as a Villa right back. He should embrace his time playing in the Premier League, because you don't know how quickly that can go. And so, look, again, am I offended by Matty Cash's comments? No. But what I am saying is I think it's a little bit wrong message, wrong tone at the wrong time. Don't criticise the fans for being frustrated that no one turned up for an FA Cup semi-final. And don't criticise the fans if we are on board the gaffer's message of high expectations. And I'll come back to that. Unai Emery has promised us, right, or told us that the season's expectations are to qualify for Europe and to win a trophy. So why, as fans then, if we're trying to line up with Unai Emery's messages, is Matty Cash biting back? And so it goes back to how much these players believe in this. How much do these players want to back themselves to go and achieve the goals that Unai Emery set out? Because I'll tell you again, Unai Emery has set up the system in which we are trying to qualify for Champions League every season and win a trophy. If Matty Cash is crying about it and saying it's a bit too difficult, then you need to be at a different football club now. And that's how I see it. I do agree on the point the fans are quiet there in the library at Wembley. I don't think he said hold back. He said turn up for us to be loud. And that's a good point. That is a good point in the sense of fans do need to be there, but the performances on the pitch have to match it. How can you get behind a flat pancake? How can you get behind a team that passes the ball sideways, backwards, amongst our back four for a large part of 25, 30 minutes at Wembley? How can you get behind a team who's willing to do that? When we know, and this is the teasing thing about this Aston Villa side, is that someone mentioned in the comments, we saw what Villa were like when we took the handcuffs off, the handbrake off against PSG at home. No doubt about it. Our best attacking performance came at PSG at home. Scored 3 great goals and played unbelievable. So that's where the fans are at. Now, you can't do that every week, but you certainly can. And we saw that against Fulham, that we're still not quite there with it. So there we go. Big up to Ken M for the super chat. Legend, massive legend, AVFTS clan legend, as Vamos VJ will say. Thank you for your support as always, Ken. We love it. But yeah, big up to you guys. And the under-18 FA Cup final today was great. Well done, boys. Absolutely. Let me know if you went to that. Only £1 to get in. Kevin said he's that replaceable. He's still playing. Cash gets all the critics. He's playing as he's told by Unai. Look, if anyone in this chat thinks that we should be starting Matty Cash at a right back next season, please tell me why. Please tell me why. He's the most obvious. The right back situation has been the most obvious upgrade on our side now for 2 seasons, and we've never addressed it. We've tried to. Costa Nedeljkovic, We tried to, failed. We signed Garcia. God knows what's going on with him. We've tried to. We've played every concert out there. Cash is an upgrade waiting to happen. 100%. Players need to get the fans up for the big games. It works both ways. When Villa Park is rocking, there's no place like it. Agree. And plus it, I know, big up to you. I know you're behind your man, you're international. Fellow countryman, he's Polish, but look, there you go. I'm going to show you one more Cash quote. Big up to you. Big up to you. Why is Garcia not playing? Garcia is a mystery. Honestly, Unai Emery's got a weird thing with Garcia. I don't like it. Right, Matty Cash, as players, you want to prove people wrong. Look at the position we're in now compared to 3 years ago. And it's like things have happened so quickly at the club, which is fantastic. But you need to realise how far we've come in such a short space of time. Pause. Guys, you might think I'm a little bit on one tonight. Maybe I am. But I'm going to tell you this. And I saw a few people tweet this after the FA Cup semi-final. I don't really care about where we were 3 years ago now. What does that win you? What does that achieve? I don't care about Rotherham away in the Championship to playing PSG away. What I care about is where are we going now? Because do you know what? We could go backwards, Matty. And when you see, again, that metric of, look where we were 3 years ago. I know, so Luton Town could say, look where we were 3 years ago. They're in League Two. They've just been relegated, I know, from the Championship. Are they still in progress? Are they still playing a league higher than they were? Do you know what I mean? When you talk about, look where we were and now where we are, it's great, but you can't keep using it as the pillar or sentiment of where you are. You can't keep using it as an excuse, as Zudazan's saying, you know, when we don't win silverware, we get rolled over. Oh, but we were playing Rotherham away 3 or 4 years ago. Oh, but we nearly got relegated 3 years ago. Who cares about? That's not going to affect this season. That's not going to impact this season, Matty Cash. What has impacted the season is that you and the other 10 players who started, plus Unai Emery, you'll realise that FA Cup semi-final meant everything and you didn't show up. So who cares about if we showed up at Rotherham away 3 years ago or we showed up at, you know, having to survive under Dean Smith? Who cares? What we care about is that the possibility is Villa are about to go another season without a trophy. Villa may not. If you want to talk about progression, Matty Cash, and I hate saying this, but Matty, we were in the Champions League last season or this season. We could be going into a lower tier European competition. You know, like, let's talk about, I don't like using that metric, but that's what Cash is doing. So be careful of using that, Villa players. And I think there's some who get it and there's some who don't. And I get very frustrated when I see that quote. I'm not going to lie. I get very frustrated. Oh, but remember where we were. It's basically another undertone to say to the fans, be careful, you're not allowed to criticise. Because remember, we nearly got relegated 3-4 years ago. That's what he's saying. And so you talk about players' accountability. What players are basically saying is, don't criticise us because we were far worse a couple of years ago. You're not allowed to. A good player, a good person, okay, will take criticism even at their best. How can you improve? How can you get better as a footballer? How can you get better as a person? Well, you have to always be able to take that reflection, don't you? And Matty Cash, for me, is not getting the message there. So that's really pissed me off, to be honest, about Matty Cash. Someone put in here, I just want to see it. If you've ever stood outside after the game with your kid trying to get an autograph, you appreciate Matty Cash as a prick. So there we go. Someone said he stopped for autographs, but this is an interesting one. Like here, you know, sometimes you get that demeanour with certain footballers and certain players, and you know, you can tell they're a little bit, you know, you can tell the ones who are grounded. Like you can tell Tyrone Mings, right? Tyrone Mings, you can tell how much he loves the club, how much he loves the fans, how much time and effort he makes for the people. 100% you can tell that. 100% you can tell that. And people give out that aura. Right. Exactly, Meeks. Exactly what you just said as well. Cash says some players haven't played at Wembley. Palace would only have had Eze and Mark Gay play there before England. All the other players haven't played there, and the turn equals waffle. There's a lot of waffle coming out of Cash. Oyson said that nobody expected Forest to be top 6 this year. Cash has shown us frustration. It's poor comments, to be honest, and it's. I'll go back to it. I wouldn't mind if Cash was having a peaky blinder. You know, when we do the watch-alongs, we often call Cash cutback Cash. Yeah, the bloke's scared to cross a road, let alone a ball. He's cutback Cash. So I do think sometimes make sure your performance on the pitch will back up this narrative. Guys, big up to 54 of you in the chat. Make sure you smash the like button on this stream. By the way, we are going to be doing a watch-along straight after this for the Forest versus Palace game. Dare I say this, I'm going to whisper this, but come on, Crystal Palace. Come on, Crystal Palace. I'm saying it very quietly. Now he's mouthy Cash. Yeah, there we go. He is mouthy Cash. Right, quick story updates. This again, Premier League's about to show corruption. Premier League is about to show corruption. If this happens, we riot, people. This isn't even a joke anymore. We absolutely need to riot. We absolutely need to riot if this happens and boycott the game. Okay? The Premier League says discussions regarding the date and time of the Aston Villa Tottenham game scheduled for 18th of May are still ongoing. Damn. Damn. So, story behind this, very simple. Tottenham asked Aston Villa if we would rearrange the game because they want to have the most preparation time for their Europa League final. By the way, Tottenham aren't guaranteed the Europa League final yet. They've got a really tricky tie to go and play big up Bodo Glimt in Norway. Not done as dusted yet, but they're talking like it is. Be even funnier if this game gets rearranged and Tottenham don't get to the final, but there we go. But Villa turned around and said, no, go F yourself. Go fuck yourself, basically. We want to play on the 18th of May. We're all set. We've scheduled our training, our week, our preparation for it. Go F yourself. And also, are you ever going to help us, the FA? Or is this top 6 cartel bias narrative? Oh. But all of a sudden, we now get this. The Premier League says discussions are still ongoing. Surely it's chalk and cheese. Surely it's if one club agrees and the other doesn't, then it just sticks to the original date. If neither club can find a mutual decision, then nothing changes. You've got to remember the 18th of May is in, 13 days, under 2 weeks now. Fans would have made transport arrangements. Fans would have booked hotels, train tickets, blah, 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 you name it. How much do the Premier League care about the fans? Second thing, would Tottenham do the same for us? Would Tottenham do the same for us? Because I'll be honest, Spurs are a rival. Spurs are a rival for trophies. Spurs are the enemy. Spurs are a team that are potentially going to win a trophy before us again, and that's going to be very frustrating. So what meets this end is true. I'll happily move the fixture for Tottenham if they roll over. But even then, I'll be honest. I'm expecting Spurs to rotate. But second of all, we're at Villa Park. That's our fortress. We don't lose it on Villa Park. So I'm expecting us to beat them. I really am. Bunch of scumbags in the Premier League agree. We've had to battle it. Zulasan saying, where was our help? We've had fixture congestion all season. Matthew saying corruption is rife in this country. It's always been there in football and they think we won't notice. I've got a really bad feeling this is going to happen. Got a really bad feeling the Premier League are going to do this. And they'll go, the reason is, but the reason is because we've got 2 English teams in the final and we want to put on the greatest display for the rest of the world to see how good our league is. So we want them to have the most preparation time. And we don't want Ange coming into a conference and going, oh, good day, mate, but we didn't have much time to prepare. And I'm really pissed off about it. Terrible Australian accent, I know. But basically, are you going to hear excuses from the managers when they don't win the Europa League final because they didn't have enough time to prepare? And if Aston Villa want to be the reason as to why Spurs don't win the Europa League final, then absolutely bloody bring it on. I'd love to be rent-free in Spurs' head if that is the sort of reason and rationale behind things. So, Yeah, I just don't understand what's going on there. I really don't. I think it's a massive load of BS, if I'm honest. And I think that ultimately, if that happens, we riot. We riot, people. So there we go. But yeah, just finally, obviously, I know a lot of you talked about it, but we've got to say a massive congratulations to our under-18s FA Cup youth winners 5 times, beating Man City. Absolute worldie of goals, by the way. Worldy goal from from Connor. Jamoa Alaba getting on the score sheet as well. Players playing well, and there was 25,000 at Villa Park as well. An unbelievable spectacle, massive to win the FA Youth Cup. It gives what Matty Cash hasn't got, which is a winner's mentality. And we've got to be really grateful for that. So, look, I think Rich is going to be doing something about that on the Villa Park podcast tonight about the FA Youth Cup in more detail. So there we go. Oh, yeah. So Man United are playing Chelsea on the Friday. Exactly. So that's why. Last home game of the season. It would be nice to spend a bit of time with players and players' family after the match as well. Yeah, it's selfish. If an English team wins Europa League, do we still get? Yes, we do. Still, luckily, get the 5 UCL spaces. We know what's happening. Being honest, doesn't make you money. If the Premier League changed that date, then it's proven corruption. Correct. We're about to see the true colours of the Premier League. But yeah, the reason I've rushed that little bit of under-18s, Finn, because again, enough talking about it. Really, if you watched the game, you saw it 5 times. Brilliant performances, brilliant goals, but. Really, what matters now is this Crystal Palace Nottingham Forest game. So, as I said, if you want to come and be part of a watch along and cheer on the mighty Crystal Palace, yeah, we're calling them mighty. I'm going to put this. Hold on. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to pin this one. Come over to the Big Up right now. And we need to be watching this game with eagle eyes. So I'm going to be doing a watch along on Big Up. I'd love you guys to come in. Go spam the comments. Go say hello. Go join that link. There's no adverts. It's all free. And if you haven't got a Big Up account, I've got to ask you why, basically, because you're missing all the Villa watch alongs as well on there. Come over and support me by signing up to the Big Up. Just come and get in the comments there. And look, I'll even put a comment here saying, come on, you Eagles. And there we go. I'll put a comment there. So get involved, get on the watch along, get behind Crystal Palace with me tonight, and let's make this top 5 running very interesting. But yeah, those are the stories for tonight. I really do appreciate everyone out here. Make sure you smash the like button for me. And yeah, come over to the Big Up right now. I'm going to spam the chat with that right now. We are going to wrap up here. And 5 Champions League places guaranteed away. So yeah, even if you're not going to come over, come and join. Come and sign up. It takes you 1 minute to sign up to Big Up, which is the home of football watch-alongs. This is just a watch-along platform. It's really good. Please, if you support me and support the channel, that'd be amazing. Come over, take 1 minute. You just need an email address. Sign up and come watch this. Let's go and get involved. I'm going to spam the chat. We're going over to Big Up now to watch a lovely watch-along, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I want to say massive shout-outs, as always, to Standing, who's just come and join us. Hopefully he comes and joins us for the Palace game. Big up to Oisin. Big up to John, Matthew Mullins. Big up to Vamos the VJ, Pete, HFD 1990, Meeks, of course. Big up to the man with the golden gun, Kevin, Krez, Zulazan. So many of you have been in the comments. I'm over there. You did miss the show, but come and join us for the watch along. Vamos will direct you over as well. Big up to you guys. Oh, and finally, again, big up to Ken M for the super chat. You absolute legends. See you over for another watch along on Big Up. Ta-da!